That is the way I say hello to people in real life. So, I sometimes try to have a theme or a name for the stream, and some nights nothing comes to me. And tonight's one of those nights. And hello, Miglitch. Oh, goodness me. Have a tasty beverage. Oh, yum. That's a very tasty beverage. Yum. Okay. Yes. Yeah, very creative, just going with Tuesday night stream. Ow. Why's my ankle itchy? I wasn't sure if I was going to do a stream tonight because I was working on editing a Halloween video that's a bit of an extravaganza. But it's going to take a little bit longer to edit it. So I'm thinking, I probably could have spent all night editing it. I just didn't feel like it. So I edited about half of it. My new schedule. Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. That sounds about right. Although I won't be doing a stream this Thursday. And it's Sundays maybe and Tuesdays maybe. Hello, Cade, connecting to the live chat. So, I mean, it's all up in the air. Thursday and Friday are the most likely nights. Tuesday and Sunday will probably be at least half the time. But yes, just for variety, I probably won't be doing a stream this Thursday night because there's an event thingy on that I plan to go to. I'm really glad you connected, and I have no fucking idea who Vegan Gains is. Or what Vegan Gains is. Or why that sentence necessitated capitals on every word. Here's the thing, like people, no shade on you, but people often ask me about, what do you think about if it's someone who's like, currently big on any of the social media, there's a really high chance I have no idea who they are because I'm old and out of touch and stopped paying serious attention to YouTubey things like 10 years ago. And, I'm just here to mess about these days. Yeah. Like, it's like, what do I think of the Tories? Now they're going to have Rishi Sunak? Is that how you pronounce his name? Rishi Sunak? An incredibly wealthy dude. He was the one running off against Liz Truss and lost. And now Liz Truss went out and he's they've got, okay, sorry, we actually meant this guy all along. Yes, and Cade, no, I don't, is the answer to your other do I think about? No, I just don't. So, oh yeah, and It's budget night in Australia. Political. Yeah. Okay, dude. If you seriously, if you are going to be uh boring, or are you doing voice commands to your phone? I don't know. But if you're going to be boring, I honestly don't have a lot of patience for it. Um, so just letting you know. Sometimes I'm charitable and give a warning. Sometimes I don't. Roll the dice, see what happens. Uh, yeah, all the real political tragics are obsessing over the budget tonight. And I'm a bit of a political tragic, but not enough to kind of obsess over the budget. It's, I don't know. It's going to be media saturation of it for at least the next couple of days. So I guess I'll take it from there. And hey, Safa, how you doing? So yeah, but I don't know. The world feels full of potential for the non-liberal party budget. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's any good. Apparently, they're still doing those ridiculous tax cuts, though, which is weird AF. But politics. What are you gonna do? It's just gonna go on. So it'll be interesting to see if they have any decent initiatives. I'm intrigued as to what the housing one was. They're trying to push a big housing thing, and I'm very interested to see what that is. I don't know if they have anything else that interests me. Oh, that's right. You went to that the big rooftop bar on the weekend. Perlini and a rhubarb chaplain. Nice. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive. You're just telling me how much the drinks. Yeah, $29 each. That's a bit expensive. You're paying for the venue there. Yeah, so that's yeah. Depending where you go, but that's like 25 to even 50% um, more than some bars. But but also the same price as some other bars. Sometimes you're paying because it's very unique drinks, and sometimes you're paying for the venue. It sounds like you like the drinks, so they're not terrible drinks, so that's good. But the extra was the bonus. Okay, just first time watching. Well, isn't this fun? We'll find out if it's your last time watching as well. So it's just one thing. Yeah, see, that's what you're paying for, Sar, for the view. And sounds like you enjoyed it, so worth it. So yeah, there's a number of rooftop and high rise bars in Melbourne, which I don't usually go to. In fact, I usually only go to a very small number of the possible bars. Kate went to laser tag. Fun. I have not done laser tag for a long time. Also, I think I'd be very bad at it now because I am old and my knees are fucked. And the idea of running around and crouching and sprinting around doesn't appeal like it used to. Ah, Saf, you were on the new V line train. Is it an upgrade? Is it better than the old ones? It is quite a while since I've been on a long distance train, either V line or XBT. I have done the Sydney to Melbourne trip a couple of times on train, not for a very long time, but I have done it. And of course, growing up in the country, I have been on all manner of country trains, and I have over the years had various reason to get V line trains to various parts of Victoria, but not often and not recently. Right, so it's a Velocity replacing the N-class trains. Well, I don't know goddamn thing about trains, so doesn't really mean anything to me. Is it usual for? Okay, I don't think a Perlini is like a real cocktail. Was it a version of a martini? I think that just might be one they have. Martinis are generally very boozy. That's certainly not type of cheese. Perlini, okay. It's a peartini. Did you mean peartini or perlini? Well, there's no. Yeah, I got alcoholic rush to the head. Yeah, well, you got to be careful with cocktails. Sometimes they're very serious. Oh God, Wog Boys Forever. Darren Hench is in it. Well, that's a turn up for the books. I think I did see the original Wog Boy movie. I didn't see the sequel, and I shan't be rushing to see this one. But then again, I'm not rushing to see many movies at all these days. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's what you want. If you're going to go out and watch a movie, you hope to enjoy it. It's always a little disappointing if you take the trouble to go out, pay for a ticket, sit in the room, and then here we go. Well, that sucked. I haven't had that experience for a while because I don't go to see that many movies, and so I'm usually fairly selective with what I see. So oh god, okay. So you were seeing the ballet in the exhibition center. It's packed. Wear mask. Yeah, honestly, big crowds, big risk. I'm not really impressed at being leaned on to go back into the office. So I'm just finished my second day in a row in the office, and it's like in the office is not that bad, but I've got home and it's like, oh god, now it's really late in the day, and I did actually have a couple of things I wanted to do around the house, and oofed. And they're a bit run down. Strictly Sega. Oh, you did the James Bond one? No Time to Die? And it's interesting with the Daniel Craig ones, they've been a bit all over the place. Like Casino Royale, I think, is basically the best Bond film. Quantum of Solace is what was the one after that? There was the one where M died. That was okay. And then there was the one after that, Spectre. That was okay. Strict say you love Skyfall. Yeah, I thought Skyfall was pretty good. No, Safa, neither myself nor Mrs. Angry is into the ballet. Just not my thing. Not that I can't appreciate the skill and virtuosity of ballet. It's just not my thing. Thanks, Kate. Spectre. So, yes. So, where they go was Casino Royale, best. Quantum Solace, definitely the weakest Daniel Craig one I've seen. Skyfall, which I thought was good. Spectre was okay. And I'm yet to see No Time to Die. Oh, wait. Yeah, there's always one. I'm just going to wait till that's on a streaming service. And then half the time I forget to watch the movies anyway. And I was like, oh. But, I'll maybe watch it eventually. There's a couple of big budget ones from last year. So the Top Gun movie. Was there another Mission Impossible movie? I don't remember. Safa, yeah, your arms can get a solid workout from shaking cocktails. And no, I did not get heavy rain. I have seen only the barest sprinkle of rain. Okay, there were a lot of clouds. It seems to just pass my house so often. Like I was really surprised. We did get rain on Friday night and steady rain on Saturday, um, but um, but it was just steady. Then I saw this video from the CBD on Friday night. It was like the streets were just like rivers. It was wild. I had no idea it was like that. What's the cancelled severe thunderstorm warning? Okay. What's tomorrow? 21 and raining, but maybe not much. Well, you can see there's a lot of rain activity about, but it's all missed me. So just the barest little bit of rain today. Safa, I did watch the Doctor Who, and I basically knew the surprise twist, but not exactly how it happened. I mean, they made public for ages that David Tennant was going to appear in it. There were a few surprises, with the fan service with old Doctor stuff and whatnot, but yeah, now we've got to wait a year to see any more Doctor Who, I think. Let's see. So Strictly Sega, in your ratings, Quantum and No Time least favorite. See, I don't even remember the Quantum of Solace made so little impact on me. I don't even remember the shaky cam stuff. So it just made no impression on me. So actually, this is just a random thing. We're talking about movies. I got a Costco email because I've been a Costco member forever, and they're with their specials and their big TVs. And the picture on the TV they're trying to sell in the ad was from the Dread movie, and it just really struck me. And I just thought, that's a super weird image to have on an ad for a TV today. I mean, I'm all for it. I think Dread's a fucking awesome movie. I love that movie. But it was weird to see. So, okay. So, strictly say you're saying Tom Cruise doing a spacewalk. It was a real spacewalk that he really did? Wow. Yeah, people often do that. The zero G thing, they get in that thing. Um, the Vomit Comet. They're these planes you get in, and you can fit out the interior of them with a set to be whatever. Like they're a big ass plane, and what they do is they climb really steeply and then dive, and they dive faster than the speed of gravity. So you get this zero G effect. So virtually every space movie you see of people in zero G, if they're not using wires or computer graphics, the people are in one of these vomit comets doing a dive, and they can dive for about 12 seconds or something. It's pretty wild. Okay. Yes, I agree. There's weird people obsessed with calling things woke. um, yeah, no, it's literally one of the clearest signs that someone is an absolute fucking moron if they call anything woke. As if there's a term. I think that came from the black community in America, and it meant sort of like, I'm awake to the injustices of the system. I'm aware of the things that aren't right and whatnot. And then it's just like this weird fucking thing that conservatives, led by American conservatives, but not limited to them, where they try to say any term that denotes being vaguely decent to a human being, they try to make it bad. It's absolutely fucking surreal. Oh, okay. Sorry, Strictly Sag, you're saying that's coming up in a Tom Cruise movie. Okay. Oh, yeah. Apollo 13, I think, is in the Vomit Comet. But like virtually any sci-fi movie you see with people doing zero G is done that way. So it's like, what are the recent ones? Gravity. Oh, God. The one with Matthew McConaughey, where they do the time being bent by gravity stuff. But anyway, yeah, virtually any time you see someone doing zero G stuff, like even the stuff that was in the hallway in Inception, that was done on a Vomit Comet. Thank you, Dr. Abigail. Interstellar was what I was trying to think of. But yeah, basically, anytime you see someone doing zero G stuff, it's on these Comet Vomit. There's a band called OK Go, who first got famous, God, a long time ago. They did this video for one of their songs, and they were doing synchronized dance moves on treadmills, and it was like a one shot. They did the whole thing in one shot. So they choreographed this routine on treadmills. It's pretty funny. And they basically do very complicated visual videos. And they have one that they shot on the Vomit Comet. And it's very cleverly edited to look like one take, and it's not. The editing's super clever. But yeah, they put the making of that on YouTube, and it's really interesting. And hello, Kirsten, and yes, Dr. Abigail. I'm a political tragic. I'm just not that much of a political tragic. I was saying that a bit earlier. It's going to be wall-to-wall coverage of the budget in the next couple of days. So yes, I did see that message you sent, Safar, the local place winning the cocktail award. What was it? Let me have a look. Was this behind a paywall? I'm trying to think. The Border Mail. Public House Albury wins the AHA New South Wales Award for Excellent Best Cocktail List. Cocktail Trees. Oh, okay, I'm going to share that picture. Actually, looks stupid and gimmicky. Let me see. I can share some of this. Let's have a look at this. All right, so we do this. So they call that a cocktail tree. I'm not so much into presentation. I'm into like gimmicks like that. I'm into how good. Oh yeah, there you go. Subscribe. But we get to see that picture. They do that. They call it cocktail trees. Yeah. Yeah, KJK Rowling's a piece of fucking shit. Yes, no, J.K. Rowling, thoroughly horrible person. And it's very weird that it's like she just wakes up every morning and go, will I stop being a piece of shit? And then she thinks and goes, no, I'm going to keep being a piece of shit. So, fuck J.K. Rowling, basically. So cocktail trees are $70 each. It looks like a lot of drinks, though. How many, you could serve a table of people. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get crowds in. But yeah, I'm not so much into gimmicks as I am to the actual quality of the drinks. I know Sophie, your local Dan's, doesn't sell Neds. Yeah, there's quite a bit of variation in store to store. Like, since my local one had these trolleys out, stuff that they just radically marked down because they weren't going to stock it anymore. The standout one was this cask strength whiskey I got for $90 that they normally sell for $150. And in fact, I've seen it in other Dans still on sale for $150. So that's pretty wild. But I've noticed that, I occasionally, like, if I'm anywhere, it's like, hey, there's a Dan Murphy's I've never been in. I'll go in just to see if they have any of these wild specials. Because I like specials. What will I do? You know what? Cade, that's the thing I do. I do not hold back. Don't believe it's healthy to hold back. Right. I was just mentioning that Ned's made me think of that. Ned's and dry. I'm going to make my own whiskey and dry, but I'll need a bottle opener because this is not a twist top, and I'm not a big butch man who can take that off it with my bare hands. I need an actual bottle opener, which I have over here. No, wait, okay. I got to remember because I have a little purpose-made one. Yeah, it's just here. Man, I got to remember things. Okay, so whiskey, and again, talking about Dan's made me think of it. This one I got on special that I really like, which I think would go really well. And where the fuck is my jigger at? There it is. Oh, God. That's the other thing. It's not only my job to keep the kitchen clean. And I've been in the office for 2 days, so I haven't been here to clean the kitchen. I'm going to have to fucking do it. Well, I could have done it this afternoon, but I didn't. Right. Dr. Abigail, I like big butts, and you cannot lie. Oh, yeah, no, that, yeah. I don't know that J.K. Rowling's getting much kudos for those books she's writing. Yes. Oh, Kirsten, talk about local focus. One, I think it's the Brighton. It's not that far from me. The Brighton Dans just has this enormous wall of Australian gins. I mean, it's a wall of gins generally. They have just international ones, but okay, this bottle opener does not like this lid. That is okay. Right, back to the other one I was going to use. Jesus, that was a disappointment. Yeah, okay, that one got it first go. Right. Fuck that other bottle opener. Anyway, so I got distracted. Yeah, so this one has, like, actually, I think a lot of Dans do pretty good with representing Australian gins, but this one just has this massive wall of Australian gins, much more than most Dans have, or in fact, most bottle-os of any description. And we put the whiskey in the dry. We're going to rinse out the jigger with a bit more dry. Get all that whiskey goodness. So yeah, this will pace me because I don't normally do mixer drinks. But this will pace me a bit if I have that because I definitely drank my first drink too fast. This is my clarified fruity rum punch. Far too easy to drink it because it just tastes like the coconut sugar I sweetened it with and pineapple juice. Okay, what do you do if someone comes at you with a knife? Run away. Any advice apart from that is very stupid. Because knives are dangerous. And if you're in a situation if someone's coming at you, that's dangerous. So run away. That's got a nice bit of bite. Yum, yum, yum. Ooh, Cade. Cocktails. It's not party night, so I'm not going to go mad with cocktails, but that's what's usually happening on these streams. Build up to it. Oof. Not even sure how long I will go tonight. It's weird. This unaccustomed going into the office 2 days in a row. I feel a little tired, a little flat. Oh, nice. Actually, yes. I went into the QV Dan's a week ago, and then literally they had what turned out to be a really tasty rum from the Hoochery, West Australian distillery, and they had several good gins at good prices. But I thought, I got a bunch of gins, I don't need that. And then I was in another Dan's, just this place I go to a lot, and I was actually, young Mr. Angry wanted something for a party. I was just getting these mixes. That was my intention going in there, and I just went past this shelf, and it wasn't the trolley thing that's the obvious sale. It was just on a shelf, big shelf, and it just caught my eye. It was like the Great Ocean Road Navy Strength gin. It was like $75, and that's normally $100. And it just somehow caught my eye. I went back and double checked, and it's like, okay, 25% off. And then I also ended up getting a fruity one, the Bass and Flinders Cerise, because we've had that before and Mrs. Angry likes it. So I had not been intending to get any alcohol at all and ended up getting several bottles. So, I mean, I got the Navy Strength just because I'm always topping up the freezer martini. When I top it up, it's usually half Navy Strength, half regular strength. So I managed to get through some Navy Strength doing that. Been using Tiny Bear Navy Strength. I don't think it's... Is it down much? Wait, sorry. Maybe I did need to get through. Is that down much? All right, it's more than half down. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, I'm not going to run out because I've got the Great Ocean Road Navy Strength now. So Tricky Sega, food truck night. Nice. Look, food truck night is great. Yeah, no, it's a little while since. Actually, I tell a lie. The Holy Water thing, Mrs. Angry and I went to a couple of weeks ago. Well, there wasn't a lot of food trucks. There were 2 food trucks. There was a taco truck and an Indian food truck. We got dinner from the Indian food place. I got butter chicken and some naan, and it was really yummy. We've been responsible. We're like, okay, let's sit down and eat something before we go in and sample booze from a dozen or so distillers. It was good that we were being responsible. It's pretty funny because, each distiller had, I mean, most of them had at least half a dozen things to sample. There's no way I was even a sip from all of them would have been alcohol poisoning. So we would only taste like 1 or 2 from each thing, and still pretty hammered at the end of it. Still coherent, not sick, no hangover the next day, but pretty gosh darn drunk. Yes, Cade Matt Walsh is another piece of shit. He's just one of these self-absorbed, blowhard, right-wing provocateurs who argues in bad faith and should be ignored. Because he's a piece of shit. What for dinner? I was dinner maker tonight. Homemade popcorn chicken and potato. And in fact, that reminds me, I think there's leftovers in the stove. I should put them in the fridge. And I might eat a cheeky piece of popcorn chicken while I do that. Good old Tupperware. Come on, Tupperware. All right. Get a Tupperware thing. Ooh, there is a lot of this chicken left. Some potato. Right. to do with this tomorrow. Ooh. There's a lot of leftover chicken. Because young Mr. Angry's not here tonight. Would have been enough for him to have dinner too. But he's at work. So, not that you can really tell, homemade popcorn chicken. Just covered them in breadcrumbs and shallow pan fried them. And it's so fucking yummy. Yum. I could probably pig out on that, but I won't. Enjoy Ginapalooza, but maybe no more gin shows. Oh, good Lord. Ooh, nice. Strictly Sega making paella. Indonesian, Mexican. Oh, these are the food trucks. Paella, Indonesian, Mexican, Tribute food, Moroccan, fancy cupcakes, crepe, waffles, giant cream. Oh my God, that sounds freaking fantastic. Yeah, that's my version of popcorn chicken. I really like it. Mind you, I did actually have KFC popcorn chicken on the weekend for the first time in forever because I was dropping off young Mr. Angry somewhere and he wanted to pick some up. And they're selling these fucking huge buckets of popcorn chicken for $10. And he got one, so I thought, fuck it, I'm getting one. And I was just like eating it while I was driving. And I got home and still had, more than half the bucket. And just said to young Mr. Angry, hey, you want some popcorn chicken? And she ate the rest of the popcorn chicken. So, and it was nice. Different to mine. Oh no, Kirsten, broken nails. That's no good. So I'm halfway through editing a really silly video I've made for Halloween. Probably going to take me another day to finish it. So I'll probably be live on Thursday. I might hold it over to Friday. I'm not sure. I'm making Whiskey Zombie, and I play up the whole thing on. I'm doing like a Dr. Frankenstein and Igor, and it's extremely silly. Just watching it, having edited the first half, even if no one else likes it, I like it. I was watching, going, this is extremely silly, but silly in the way that I like silly. I think you're onto something, Dr. Abigail. Mining veins of gin ore and smelting it into gins. Yes. That's dwarven gin then. Yes. High quality juniper mithril gin. Yes. Heine doing tech stuff, swapping motherboards. Good luck with that. I'm not techie. Dr. Abigail is my tech support. Even Young was angry. Noticed that the other day. She wanted to do something on my PC and it was switched off. And I just have to switch on. And she's going, I'll come back in a bit. And I went, oh no, it comes up like almost straight away. And it boots really fast. She goes, oh yeah, I forgot Abigail fixed your computer. Boots very fast. Yes, we'd have trusted tech support. So, honey, you couldn't do it professionally. Have to swap classes all the time and use that. But you can do it for yourself. It's good to do it for yourself. What's his name? Henry Cavill likes to build his own PCs. Strictly Sega, you're a fan of the solid state drives. I think I have both. Kirsten, you're agreeing with the dwarven gin. I mean, I like it. It's got a whole vibe. I think I'm now having an image of how you'd make that. It'd be a whole advertising campaign with the dwarves mining the precious gin ore, and then it smells down. And the bottle has to be. I have this vision of the bottle having sort of swirls in it and having a silvery sheen, and it's like, so the bottle is mithril. Oh, see, yeah, that would destroy the dwarven gin distillery. Delve too greedily and too deeply, awakened to Balrog of vodka. That was where it all went wrong. When the vodka Balrog got involved. Oh dear. I swear though, did I mention this on the other stream? I can't remember. There's a website I often go to for cocktail ideas called Punch Drink, and they have interesting articles. And I was going to try and remember, but I'll actually go. They have, okay, it's In Search of the Ultimate Vesper. They do this occasional series of In Search of the ultimate version of a particular cocktail. So they get 10 top bartenders, give us your recipe for this drink, your twist on it. And then the judges will make them and taste them. They blind taste them, and then they rank them. And so the Vesper, for those who don't know, is the James Bond martini in Casino Royale. He asks for a martini, and then he describes exactly how he wants it. 2 parts. And there are several things wrong or pointless with this particular recipe. But he says 2 parts gin, Gordon's, of course, 1 cup part vodka, half a part Kina Lillet, shaken, not stirred, served very cold with a twist of lemon. The wrong things. Why the fuck would you specify Gordon's gin? That just is that was written in the early 20th century. Vodka is rubbish and has no place in a martini. And the famous shaken, not stirred is fucking stupid. You should stir your martini. Twist of lemon is how I like my martini. And the vermouth or aromatized wine, he specifies, Kina Lillet doesn't actually exist anymore. Same maker has one they call Lillet Blanc. Now, and I've heard 2 things. I've heard people say that the distiller says it's the same thing, but everyone says no, it's really different. People say there's a more similar one called Cocchi Americano. But there are a few aromatized wines of vermouth that have Kina in it. That's the stuff. I think it's the same stuff as quinine. Anyway, so you don't want vodka. You don't want Gordon's gin. Maybe in the early 20th century it was good. Kirsten, Gordon's is good for drain cleaning. Yeah. I think that just shows the thing was written in early 20th century England by someone who didn't even understand cocktails. But I like that the Difford's Guide Girl work event was nice. The content on the Difford site is very good, and they do very good localized content here in Australia. It's run by an English guy, Simon Difford. It's English based, but it has localized content, which is nice. Yes. Strictly Sega. What shaken versus stirred does is dilutes it a bit more quickly, and which I'm not really here for. And it makes it cloudy. It's just not as nice a drink visually. But I want to read what they said. Okay, so they're saying as a literary device, the Vesper has a lot going for it. But as an actual drink, in reality, the drink doesn't even make sense, according to Dame Bartender Sarah Morrissey. Why I'm reading it is because these people are far harsher on a Vespa than I am. So, at a recent blind tasting, the panelists found the drink to be inherently flawed. For one thing, as McRae observed, few bartenders actually know how the original was supposed to taste. The distinguishing ingredient, quinoa lily, is defunct. And everyone uses fucking Coke Americano these days. And legend has it that Ian Fleming even had it made for him one time and didn't like it. So you don't know what he's talking about. So, yeah, more bars have the Vespa on their menus just because people fucking ask for it because they're fucking idiots. So saying all these bartenders tried yogurt washing the base spirits, putting vermouth, bergamot liqueur, an alternative quina. Some have flipped the recipe to be vodka forward with a splash of gin. Others created a true reverse Vespa with low ABV ingredients acting as the base, joined by small measures of gin and vodka. The results were, on the whole, not good, with more than one eliciting tasting notes of literal poison, which again, they mean figurative poison. So Difford's AU's run by Jane. Okay, cool. Oh no, Safa, cloudy cider can be very nice, actually. But again, there's a whole spectrum in ciders. Strictly say Mexican food. I like burritos because it's less messy. But on the weekend, I had both nachos and tacos at a Mexican place, actually. Oh yeah, Kanye West's a fucking idiot. We were playing around with an AI image generator, and for no real reason, I used it as the thumbnail tonight. Last recipe proved to be a winner. House Spec from Seattle's Deep Dive uses Haku vodka with Roku gin, so Japanese vodkas and gin, and Japanese vermouth, Menchino Sakura vermouth. Doesn't stray too far from the classic blueprint while still managing to stand out as particularly balanced. As one taster declared, I think this one's kind of fun. I want to find all their negative stuff because they fucking hate it. Even the prettiest of the bunch left the tasters wondering who would order a Vespa over, say, any other martini. As one noted of the general aura of the drink, it just has bad alchemy. It just cracks me up. They were like way more negative about a Vespa than me. Oh, there you go. Okay, Megalith Local didn't have the no sugar variety of the Neds. Saf was saying he couldn't get it either. But well, Safa, anything's a real cocktail. You make a drink, it's a real cocktail. Is it an established cocktail? Well, yeah, because it's a literary cocktail. So if you ask for a Vespa in any bar that makes cocktails, feel like they could make you a drink, I just wouldn't do it. Like the kindest thing I had to say about the Vespa is I could see, because some people find gin definitely difficult to get into. And so if you dilute it with vodka, like as in you dilute the flavors with vodka, with a more neutral vodka, it could ease some people into the idea of a gin martini, because you'd still have gin characteristics, but not as forward as if it was only gin. That's the nicest thing I can say about a Vespa. I just didn't see the point. I don't have my martinis as dry as Kirsten. I tend to be like 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. So if I was making a single martini, I'd like do 2.5 ounces gin, half an ounce of vermouth. I think Kirsten has somewhere around 8 parts gin to 1 part vermouth, which is almost Winston Churchill level. Okay, so Megalith Local is the celebrations. There you go. That's the other thing. I often, because most Coles and Woolies have a friggin' bottle shop next to them these days, and I will often just go in and check when I'm doing my grocery shopping, because more than once I've found them with like unadvertised specials that have been really good. And it's just like, ooh, bonus. Wasn't planning on getting anything, but that's on special. So I'm getting that. So, particularly, there was a period because there's BWS is the Woolies one, yeah. Because there's several BWS in the city, probably several celebrations too, which is the Coles one. But there's a period where the different BWSs in the city had Australian gins for really cheap. Like they must have got a bunch of them and they didn't sell. So the remaining ones they sold, 30, 40% off. I got some really good gins that way. You do a vermouth wash. You know what? I might do that. My freezer martini is at about a 5-to-1 ratio. I kind of, all right. I'm just thinking the Archie Rose Bone Dry Gin with a rinse. I'm going to try that. Not necessarily tonight. Might save that for party night. Yes, Kate, I did see the Nanny episode of South Park. For all its flaws, South Park has done some very funny things over the years. And Cartman, the psychopath who mentally destroyed all the TV nannies, was pretty funny. Oh, that's right. Liquorland is Coles. Celebrations is independent, I think. Who knows? There's a whole bunch of, but yes. So it's kind of like every time I'm like, I'm not going to buy any more alcohol, and then I see something on special. You know what? It's on special. I'll get to it. I've just got a freaky amount of whiskies and gins at the moment. Oh, Kirsten, yeah, I got the email today. Being in the den for Tiny Bear, they're releasing 2 more single malt whiskies. And because I like them, because they're cute people. So I've ordered one of them. It was very arbitrary. It's like, okay, I have no idea what the 2 of them taste like. They did give tasting notes, but tasting notes, what do they mean? So I just arbitrarily picked one. So yeah, they're releasing 2 single malts. And there's only like about 120, 140 bottles. So they're relatively small barrels that they've done this in. And yeah, so they're releasing 2 different single malts at 50% ABV. And I got one of them because I'm in the club, and so I get a little discount as well. So that's good. Also, fashionistas. I ordered new shirts for the first time in a while. Again, I've lost track of time, but I think it's at least 6 months since I got any new shirts. And it's like the original site that I got the first of these shirts from, because I'm on their mailing list. They sent me one and I was like, oh, sale. And I went, and they did have one cocktail one they had, and I just went and clicked, and they had some nice, like really nice designs that I don't have, and they were really cheap. They were like $10 or $12. And so I bought 10 shirts. I think I bought like 10 more shirts. It's ridiculous. Although it was good, I actually culled it back a bit. Oh yes, Kirsten, I did see the thing new rums. I was holding out for the Navy strength one. I did get the fancy molasses, which is super yummy. And you've got to have some sort of temperance of. I try hard to have some sort of temperance with a number of bottles I buy, but so yeah, you're releasing like 4 rums together, but you told me there's a Navy. Yeah. All right. I'll have emptied something by 2023. Puncher. Yes. I'm holding out for the Navy strength rum. Same's got Nick's Wine Merchants who sell online, and they are good for stuff that's very hard to get. Man, the last couple of weeks, they have advertised a bunch of stuff that I was sorely tempted to get. Probably half a dozen bottles I was really tempted to get. And then it was like, no, self-control. Okay, fucking, because I'm just in one of those phases where I look and go, I've got so many bottles of booze there. I need to calm down a bit. So because every time I'm doing this, I won't buy everything that comes out, and then I see something on special and I'm getting that. So I did go in the what do we call it? The ballot for the Starwood anniversary whiskey. I'm going to get that because it's a one-off. Dr. Abigail. Oh yeah, no. I'm happy to catch up with you on Discord, Dr. Abigail. We'll do that. Should we talk about? Okay, there's nothing like cocktails. Honestly, you don't like wine, champagne, whiskey, or beer. I don't like wine, champagne, or beer. I like whiskey. I don't often drink it straight. I usually drink it in cocktails, as I just did now. Well, it's not mixed drink. Had it with the dry ginger ale by Strangelove, which are now in Dan's, at least where I am. Good quality Australian mixes. Just that little bit, like ginger ales and ginger beers usually have different levels of that sort of ginger burn. And I'm not into the really hot ginger flavor. That one has just a really nice light ginger burn. Oh. Actually, oh, you mean gherkin as in pickle, which is spelled Gherkin? No, I don't eat pickles. Kirsten, you're inviting bartenders to your house, so they're going. Oh, they would have lots to choose from with your combos. Oh, who did I see? Who recognized me at Holy Water? The dude from Patient Wolf. Patient Wolf didn't actually have a stand there, if I remember rightly. He was there and went, "Oh, this guy, what have you been clarifying lately?" He was friendly. That was quite nice catching up with him. I quite like Patient Wolf as a venue, except it gets too noisy inside. Last time we went there, Safi, you don't want to know what I'd eat for $1 million. I'd eat a pickle. I'm just not a huge fan. I'm not going to be absolutely revolted by a pickle. But yeah, for $1 million, man, you don't want to know what I'd eat for $1 million. And I'm not going to go into it after that little tease. Yes, it was Blake. Yes. God, I forgot. Yeah. No, he's a very nice guy. So I got to catch up with Blake and say hello. And who was it? It was actually, I don't know how it came up, but it was like I think it was the lady from Great Ocean Road Distillery who knew Kirsten. But yeah, I did also appreciate this lot, and there were actually a couple of purveyors of non-alcoholic mixers at Holy Water, which was very good. It was good to take a break. Like, okay, I just tasted a whole bunch of alcohol. I'm just going to taste because these mixes are all really nice. Oh yeah, okay, yes, I had a good chat with the lady from Great Ocean Road because they had a bunch of gin flavors of theirs I hadn't seen before. So I actually tasted a couple of theirs and had a good chat with her. She's nice. But Didn't actually buy from them on the night. Although, as I was mentioning, I did actually get some from Dan's the other day, but that was on a big special, so that's of no economic value to the Great Ocean Road. Heine having a class night on the technology. Sound card, driver updates, Rainbow installed. Oh, there you go. It's all happening in Heineville. Nice. Distillery Creek one. Yeah, I did really like the ones we tasted. We meant to take notes of the ones we liked, but Mrs. Angry's actually usually pretty good with taking notes, but I think she forgot to take notes there. Suffer, do my local Dans know me? No, because they change staff too often. Although in one on Chapel Street, one time I went there, the dude working there knew me from YouTube, not the like from Angry Aussie, not the cocktail stuff. That was a little while ago. Oh yeah, Heine Rainbow stuff is classy. I have it on my PC too. So they've sold the gin to Dan's. I get what you're saying. Dan's buys it at a set price. So if Dan's does a super special, that's not to the detriment of the distiller. Excellent. So it was just Dan's lost out. Nice. That's also okay because, I've bought enough Aussie stuff full price at Dan's as well. Actually, Dan's is usually stuff that's on special. For stuff I play full price for, I'm usually buying direct from the distiller. Yes, we've gone. I spent the last week or two thinking. I haven't ordered anything online for ages. I'm going into withdrawal. Nothing's arriving, and then today I ordered some more shirts, but they usually take 2 to 4 weeks to arrive, and then this afternoon I ordered the whiskey from Tiny Bear, and they're actually usually pretty quick. Like that might even arrive before the end of the week. Maybe I'll have that for party night. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah. Yeah, you basically just buy me. Dan's is usually only mixers, stuff that's on special. I will occasion and particularly international stuff, like stuff that I wouldn't get otherwise. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's like 25% off. Why not? I'll get that. And because they occasionally have an international rum or whiskey I like at a good price. So, oh, good, yeah, and like literally this trolley thing that some of them do, like with super markdowns, like 40% markdowns. I only discovered that recently, and so I'm going to be checking that regularly. Safa, should you have another apple cider? Depends. Do you have to do much tomorrow? And depends how you're feeling. And I just fucking hit my knee so fucking hard. Ow, that's gonna come up in a fucking bruise. Right, my foot's itchy. I have to be careful because I need to scratch it because it's driving me crazy. But don't scratch it too hard and break the skin. Oh man, what does the body do to it? I'm being controlled by microbes. There's some microbe on the surface of my skin, and it's to their advantage if I break the skin when I'm scratching. They get to propagate. And it's so hard to resist. It's very troubling being controlled by microbes, actually. And we all are, in case you didn't realize it. We're just big. No, it's not a fucking tick. It's just itchy. Yeah. A tick would be a whole different thing. but I haven't been anywhere leafy where I could get a tick. Again, that's another thing being quite aware of growing up in the country. Not that Dubbo is particularly bad for ticks. Dr. Abigail, not far off. My knees, which were already pretty dodgy, and I don't know, I just kind of slipped and for some reason smacked my knee into the counter really hard. And I feel like that's going to come up in a bruise. I'll try and remember because I hate. Do you ever have that thing where you've got some really, really over the top bruise and you look at it and go, the fuck did that come from? Like it's one thing to get a bruise and you know where it came from, but I always get a bit weirded out when you have like a reasonably impressive bruise and you can't fucking remember where it came from. It's very troubling. So that's what I'm. I just remember like when my knee comes up in a big fucking bruise. Cade, where were I when 9/11 happened? I was in bed. But back then, with my ex, we had a TV in the bedroom. And we would switch it on in the morning getting ready. And of course, it was just this non-stop coverage. And it just looked so unreal. I literally thought it was a movie. Like it didn't make sense. The second tower had already come down. I should drink this bottle, you think? That is my barrel-aged Sazerac, which is fucking killer. Also, really quite high alcohol content. That is probably, as a cocktail, is probably 40+% alcohol by content. So that, my friend, is very much alcohol poisoning if you have too much of that. But I'm just having a little bit because it's so yummy, and I just want to have a little taste of it. Because you get Bruce Joyce walking into shit. Sound like me. So it's a blend of whiskies, which ranged from 50 to 60%. Well, actually, I think ranged from 40 to 60%. It's a blend of brandies that were all about 40%, and then some sugar syrup and bitters. So just, yeah, as a cocktail, 40% is quite high for a cocktail. Of course, it's a Luxardo cherry. I'm going to have a chat. Kirsten, you're watching Rove live. Ah, right. When 9/11 happened. Yes. God, Rove Live's as much as a throwback as 9/11. Yeah, no, I went to bed early that night. By the time I woke up in the morning, everything had happened. And I seriously thought it was some weird fucking disaster movie on the TV. I thought, why isn't the news on? It took me a while to process what was happening. It's so weird. God damn, that's good. Oofed. No, I'm not aware that James Bond ever had a Luxardo cherry. Like I said, in his martini, one of the things I agree with is a twist of lemon. That's the best thing to have in a martini, in my opinion. One. And what the other drinks he has? He has an Americano, which definitely doesn't have a cherry in it. Now we're on the internet. Now I'm just like compelled to look it up. Look at what does James Bond drink? Bond by the numbers. James Bond drinks. Here we go. He drinks a variety of different martinis, sometimes classics with gin, sometimes specifying vodka. And he has a dirty martini inspector. There you go. Drinks wine regularly. Top 5 most alcoholic films. The Living Daylights. He gets a Jim Beam from Felix Leiter. Okay. Yes, I think in the books he has an Americano as well. So, yes. But the Vesper and the way Bond orders the Vesper is far and away the most famous bit of alcohol Bond has, much to the annoyance of bartenders everywhere. And Safa, no, I don't like Domino's pizza. Would I eat a Domino's pizza if someone put one in front of me? Probably, if I hadn't already eaten. If I'm getting a pizza, there's a couple of local places that do very good pizza. Quite spoiled. Like within half a suburb, there's 3 really good pizza places, and they're all kind of different, so it's nice. I'm actually quite big on the supermarket pizzas. Get a base pizza and put your own toppings on it. I'm particularly fond of the Dr. Oetker 4-cheese pizza. Even if there are rumors Dr. Oetker was a Nazi, eating Nazi pizza. But I like getting like a base cheese pizza from the supermarket and then putting my own toppings on it. Yeah, usually extra cheese. I normally put extra cheese at the bare minimum. But sometimes I'll get more creative with what I put on as well. Like if Dr. Abigail comes over, I make a point of making a pineapple and onion pizza. I like that, Dr. Abigail. Last time you had a Domino's, couldn't eat the slice. No such thing as bad pizza ends at Domino's. I think it varies. And I'm saying that I haven't had a Domino's pizza in a very long time. So I might be the same. I might decide it was really gross. But I personally would not order a Domino's pizza, no. Too many alternatives. Like I said, not least getting a supermarket pizza and adding your own toppings. So, I can't get into anchovies on pizzas, Safa, but to each their own, I say. Oh, that's really yummy. But I should stop drinking. Not that, okay, I'm not fucking going in the office tomorrow. No, I'm going to be fine. I read this interesting opinion piece the other day that had a really long headline. Like, I get out of bed for work at 8:59 a.m. There are thousands of us, and we don't care what you think. Like, you get all these people who the working from home people, like you get that whole hustle thing. People saying you'd be up at 5 a.m. and blah 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 blah. This person saying I'm a night person. Making me get up early is dumb because I can't function. And they're like, when they're supposed to like clock in at 9, they literally, I think they're probably exaggerating, but they were saying I roll out of bed at 8:59 and then on the computer like, bam, I'm here. And the I'm not that bad. I actually start my day, it's because I'm not really an person. I'm fine waking up early. I start my work from home day at 7:30 so I can finish early as well. So I set my alarm for 7, and that gives me enough time to gradually get out of bed and faff about a bit. And then I log on at 7:30 and and then I can finish it. If I go into the office, it normally takes me till about 8 to get it. I set the alarm half an hour earlier. I still don't get into the office till about 8. which is annoying. But anyway. Oh, Kirsten, that's right. Your husband needs gluten-free, and you haven't found a supermarket one that agrees with husband. The endless quest. Yeah. You've logged on at 8:59. Well, yeah, again, there's never any reason to, like, no one does anything before 9. But if I'm on at 7:30, I actually get stuff done that doesn't involve other people. So there's never anything work related before 9, like other people related before 9. Preferably not before 10. Justin's joking earlier about who's the politically tragic. Justin wins. Actually watch the budget live in Parliament House. That's getting right there. Yeah. Oh no, guess he slept in and he got to 9:30. I feel like my work would be very forgiving if, for whatever reason, I slept through an alarm and just crashed and didn't show up. I feel like my work would be very understanding and just like log on and I'm sorry. This is not a great day. I'm late. I think my work would be pretty forgiving. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, well, see, Boss Man knows the quality of your work, Kirsten. And that's where this whole, like, you hear these stories about companies doing surveillance shit and obsessing about the exact hours people do and what they do. And it's just like, no, if you got a good boss and it's just the quality of your work that counts, then you're all good. But yeah, I have to admit, I was hearing all these stories about companies that want to install surveillance shit on your laptop and whatnot. I would quit. I would straight up quit, just on principle, because that's such bad management. That's a complete lack of trust. That's a completely fucked set of priorities. All that says is a really insecure manager who's a control freak. For my type of work, the measurements of your worth should be, output based, delivery based, because that's how it is at my current job. Not obsessing about little things and tracking your every movement. It's just like, are you delivering? And that's the way it should be. Like, if I had some pathetic middle manager who's obsessive and controlling and wanted to know what I was doing 24/7, it would just be like, yeah, actually, fuck you, I quit. I actually would not hesitate. It's fortunately not an issue where I work now, which is very nice. And yeah, Kirsten, you have an outcomes job. That's nice. So, Dr. Bell, you had a boss ask you to install network monitoring tools, see what people are using the internet for, and he was caught browsing gay porn on company time. Again, that's not very bright, which is a common thing for middle managers in particular. The weird thing when they don't understand that rules apply to them. Redonkulous. It's just, yeah. It's really this whole, if you're an office worker, the argument over work from home or work in the office, Jesus, it fucking shows you what companies are shitty and what managers are shitty. Kate, the concept of white privilege does not mean that every white person gets the same level of privilege. What it essentially means is no white person loses privilege because they're white, and anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Whereas pretty much, I mean, my favorite analogy was a gaming one. Actually, two good gaming analogies about how you should treat people. But talking about white privilege, particularly straight white male privilege, that does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that every straight white male will get every privilege. But in gaming terms, playing the game of life as a straight cishet male is playing the game of life on the easiest setting. And the game of life is customized. Your player character in the game of life is customizable. You can play with all the sliders on gender identity, sexuality, race, appearance, all these things. Every move away from cishet white man makes it harder. Again, which is not to say people who are outside that won't succeed. It's not to say people who are outside that won't get some things go their own way. But there is absolutely no question the cishet white male is playing the game of life on the easiest setting. And the other claim, like, again, you just get absolute steaming piles of shit going, oh, why isn't there preferential treatment for cishet white men in this? Why don't we get this recognition? And another gaming response, someone said, why don't white guys get that? For the same reason you don't get the blue shell in Mario Kart when you're already coming first. So, and yes, Safa, born into wealth is obviously a whole different thing. And of course, the vast majority of us, speaking as the official appointed representative of cishet white men, I get to speak for all cishet white men because that's how it works. 99% of us aren't born into that sort of obscene wealth. But any disadvantage we face is not because we're white. Holy shit. AIDS's level at the game of life. Well, he's white. He's a white guy, but he's queer and he's disabled. That was the other bit I should have thrown in, actually. Able-bodied. Because disability of any type sets you back as well. So, yeah, AIDS's difficult settings, being a queer, being neurodivergent, and really quite severe disabilities and chronic illness. No, Kate, I don't know that YouTube video. Okay, wealth. Look, honestly, I mean, I'm so much fucking better off than I ever thought I would because I was born in struggling Catholic family in a country town, so I'm fucking white trash. I earn more now than I could have imagined growing up. I never would have believed it, but serious wealth in Australia is, assets in the millions and annual income in the millions. If you have that, you are absolutely in the 1% in Australia. Raise up, buddy. How you going? And of course, we have a small number of people who have the billions in assets here. And they are the true fucking scumbags. No good billionaires, okay? They're not your friends. No matter what your persuasion, no matter what persuasion you think they are, no good billionaires. They are definitely not your friends. Don't fall into that trap of somehow thinking, that's my guy. Safa, good question. What percent of Australians are millionaires. So it's saying there are over a million millionaires, and well, we got 25 million population, so that's 1 in every 25 people. So that's that's 4%. Jesus. So saying about 4% of the population. Least bad. Megaleech, who's the least bad? I don't know. George Soros funds good stuff. Bill Gates funds good stuff. Oh, no. Yeah. Rays, Gates in his rise to power is a fucking piece of shit. Like the only positive things I'll say about Gates is gives money to good causes. Yeah, he's a steam pulse. Oh my god, and he was deep into the dodgy shit with Jeffrey Epstein. That's why he ended up being divorced, because his wife was just like, "Why the fuck are you doing this stuff with this fucking degenerate?" And Gates is, yeah, no, Gates is fucking awful. There are no good billionaires. It's like least bad is, well, like how many times do you want your knuckles smashed with a hammer? Rays, I do think Gates did some dodgy shit with vaccines in making absolutely spurious arguments against open sourcing the vaccines. Whether his motivation is pure evil or just misguided and wrong, but the reasons he gave for not open sourcing vaccines were complete bullshit. Kate, are they good millionaires? Look, good. What's good anyway? You can become a millionaire, as apparently 4% of the Australian population is, without being an egregiously awful exploiter of people. It's the big thing is, how are you earning it? The vast majority of people who earn significant wealth, and by vast majority I mean well in excess of 90%, of people who earn significant wealth. And when I say significant, I say, okay, going into the tens of millions and up. The overwhelming majority of those people earn that money by exploiting people, by fucking people over. They have invariably killed people to attain that wealth, namely that they are an active part of the global capitalist supply chain that just fucking kills people. It's that whole thing. Is it Richard Simmons? Is that the exercise guy? Yeah. It's like, if your wealth is not made by exploiting people, as in, and it's usually, okay, yes, okay. Richard Simmons made his money sweating for the oldies. Most multimillionaires make it by running sweatshops, by having people suffer in horrific working conditions somewhere in the world. Pretty much everyone with significant wealth has killed people. And in fact, look, okay, to be fair, because of the nature of global capitalism, arguably we've all killed people, because we all it's impossible to not consume things that didn't involve someone getting killed. It's literally just the way global capitalism works. We have no control whatsoever about it, unless you are literally going to go into the forest and eat berries and mushrooms or something. Yes, Dr. Abigail, I agree. There is some weird psychopathy with the massive hoarding of wealth. It's a very weird egocentric thing. Oh, neat, Rays, your nan used to do the sweating with the oldies thing. Nice. Like I said, to me, it's the way in which the wealth is gained, maintained, and exploited. Again, basically, it isn't possible that you can amass significant amounts of wealth. And by then I'm talking about, tens of millions of dollars a year without actively killing people, without actively, personally making decisions that kill people. Some more than others. And it's basically the higher you go up the chain in, the wealthy, we talk about the 1%, but then you get the 1% of the 1%. And their supply chain for their wealth creation absolutely relies on circumstances that just fucking kill people. And it should suffer. Should Kanye West be in jail? Kanye West should just be fucking ignored, okay? Kanye West should not be indulged. Kanye West is just a bad person. See, Rays, here's the interesting thing to me. Saying you build your business up and sell it for $1 billion. Like, particularly some tech billionaires got massively wealthy without really doing anything that killed people. But this is why I wasn't putting a dollar figure on anything. It's if the creation, maintenance, and expansion of the wealth is at the expense of killing people, you're fucking evil. You are, and that shouldn't be a controversial statement. If the creation, maintenance, and expansion of your wealth is at the expense of killing people, then you're an evil fucking bastard. It is funny the way particularly tech money has worked for the last 20, 30 years. Some people have made billions essentially without exploiting someone because it was a tech startup and it's just raised. No, someone else also does a bad thing is never an excuse. No, I just don't buy that at all. And again, the global capitalists. Oh, good. Now it sounds like I'm saying something anti-Semitic, but that's what they are. The 1% of the 1%, they don't kill a couple of people. They kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people around the world. They ruin the lives. They crush people in just the grinding poverty to create their wealth. They crush thousands upon thousands of people, even if they don't actually kill them. They ruin the lives of so many people. And that is inherently and unjustifiably evil and should be fucking illegal. It's criminal. The fact these people are amassing huge amounts of wealth literally at the cost of other people's lives, that should be criminal. And I can't comprehend how that's even a controversial statement with anyone. It's like, I worked hard for this. Like, you literally killed who knows how many people. It's just like, you kill people to amass your wealth. Raise who though? Anyone in who's like a major capitalist, the way with their supply chains around the world with sweatshops, they are just killing people. So yes, I did see the movie Elysium. That's when they had a literal thing where the ultra wealthy were orbiting the planet and the downtrodden workers were living this shitty life down on the planet. Yes. But yes, you cannot be like a billionaire without killing people. It's just how it works. It's if you are actively engaged in amassing wealth to that degree, you are fucking ruining people's lives and you're killing people. Like I said, it's fucking criminal. So, and they'll never. I don't see them ever being called to account. Although, as many people have observed, Rays, I'm going to go out. That's complete fucking horseshit. That is absolute fucking horseshit. And you need to look into who's providing the drugs in those neighborhoods as well. You know, the like literally recent episodes of the Behind the Bastards podcast about the crack epidemic. You and I don't really hold this against you, but you're showing that you don't understand what's actually happening with drug distribution in neighborhood. Yeah. No, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to anything. You're wrong. Okay. It is a very easily digestible starting point to understand a bit better. Go listen to the recent podcasts from Behind the Bastards about the crack epidemic. I mean, just talk to the big ones. You know, Elon Musk got his original inherited money from apartheid emerald mines. His family absolutely amassed their wealth from killing people, and he's continues to amass wealth from factories around the world with sweatshop conditions that still kill people. Jeff Bezos is just horrifically evil. They all are. It's. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to go in for whataboutism. These people, and I mean all of them. I mean every billionaire is an evil fucking exploiter, and they're killing people, and that should be criminal. And so you're saying, you know, selling drugs in poor areas, that's criminal, okay? What the billionaires are doing should be criminal, and that shouldn't be a controversial topic. They're fucking killing people for their own enrichment. And like I said, they're ruining their lives, just giving people really shitty lives at the rate of thousands of times higher than they're killing people. And they should be in jail for that as well. So they're bad people doing bad things, and it's inexcusable. Safa, my firmly held belief is anyone who is amassing large amounts of wealth should be in prison until you can establish that everyone in the supply chain that generates their wealth is living a proper, decent life. If someone is working, I also think people who aren't working should be guaranteed a proper life too. But at an absolute minimum, people who are working should have good, secure lives. Not be working in sweatshops, not be working for poverty wages, not be working in insecure work that makes their life a fucking miserable existence. and every fucking capitalist in the world should be in prison until they can prove nobody in their supply chain is being criminally exploited. That fucking simple. Oh yes, got the Gina Reinhardt netball thing. Yeah, because the netball players were like, well, you know, you're an evil person from an evil corporation with an evil dad who said evil things. Maybe we shouldn't take your money because maybe you are an awful fucking person who's trying to sort of cleanse your public image by going, oh, I'm a great person because I donated to support this. It happens in the arts as well. Like that evil fucking Sackler family in the US who are responsible for the opioid epidemic, who killed thousands of people, ruined the lives of thousands and thousands more. And they tried to clean up their image by giving massive donations to museums and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, you get people who are egregiously evil, like the Sacklers, who killed thousands with addictive drugs that they lied and said weren't addictive, and they pushed doctors to overprescribe. They should just be in prison and never let out because they're fucking murderers on a industrial scale. You know, just evil, greedy fucks like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk who are killing people by exploiting workers in their supply chain. They can just be in jail until no one's being exploited in their supply chain again. But when someone's as egregiously evil as the Sacklers, they should just be in prison forever. Well, yeah, Rays, you can say that, but that's also an incredibly meaningless thing to say because no one's giving you $1 billion. That isn't going to happen. You know, I may as well say, if Sugar Plum Fairies open a portal at the bottom of my garden that lets me go anywhere in history and take stuff from everywhere, then I'm going to do it. It isn't going to happen. So it's not a valuable part of sort of discussing it. You know, hell, you know, there's a fucking Powerball for $150 million this week. If someone wins that, are they automatically evil? No. I literally, when you read all the stories about people who won lots of money, if one person won that $150 million, I'd be worried for them. Because based on so many stories from around the world, the most likely outcome is the person ends up miserable, which is very sad when you think about it. There's like, you know, the thing that's supposed to be a dream come true ends up being awful. But yeah, as I said, it's not the money, it's not the dollars, it's the method by which the money is attained. That's what I'm talking about. And the system we have now is just wrong. Rays, people inherit. No. You don't inherit. Okay, massive inheritances. But here's the thing. No one should have that much money because no one amasses that much money without criminal exploitation of people. So then the whole question of inheriting it becomes a moot point because it shouldn't fucking exist. But there should be a massive inheritance tax. Just this idea of a capitalist aristocracy that inherit wealth is sick and wrong and fucked. I know, I think it's an interesting topic too, but as the thing, nobody should have that wealth because there's no justification for it. The amassing of that wealth is always criminal. It is just always criminal. It involves killing people. And yes, Dr. Abigail, we are literally talking about the worst of the worst are way up there in the billions. But Yeah, Safra, also the Minecraft creator was a steaming pile of shit. But yes, like he on paper made $1 billion from Minecraft. Is the big what was very interesting? I did read an article a little while ago about someone who uh, uh, someone who won a lot, like not 150 million, but won a lot on a lottery thing. And in retrospect, they were like, rule number one, if you win a lot of money, tell literally nobody. Just don't tell anyone because it's just weird and fucked. See, Kate, I'm not even saying any of those words out loud. Just because I'm worried about content matches for banned things on various servers working against me. Eat my cherry. Yum. Love those cherries. Yeah, so no, Safra, I believe in the various lottery things you can say this is not for publication and they have to honor your wishes. Although I have heard stories that they really pressure people to go public. We question why you entered. Okay, like someone at work decided to have a pool, and like, oh, everyone, if you want to join, kick in. And I was like, I had to go in it because I thought, okay, this is not going to win. So it's not a lot of money, and just got the sort of base to buy into this group ticket because it's like, okay, this is like literally, it's setting the money on fire because you're not going to win. But this terrible fear of missing out, because if they had done this syndicate that I had the opportunity to join, and against all the odds, the syndicate won and I missed out, that would haunt me for the rest of my life. So I threw away a bit of money on this $150 million thing because someone at work was doing a fucking syndicate. I thought, oh, this would be my luck. If I don't go in it, they'll fucking win. And I would spend the rest of my fucking life being frustrated. So, yeah. The private jets. Definitely wouldn't do private jets. Maybe a boat. A friend of mine had a boat, like not a huge one. But one could say because it was like a boat, and it had like downstairs there was a bedroom, and there was even a little bathroom, there's a little shower. A boat would be kind of fun. Although I suppose you could probably rent them, and renting them probably makes more sense than buying one actually. See, Ray's the avoiding humanity bit sounds like a good idea. You buy a cave, get a guard emu, spend the rest of the days avoiding. Yeah, the avoiding humanity bit sounds things. Yeah, the luxury cars too low. I couldn't wrap my head around just spending a stupid amount on a car. My favorite of the very expensive cars is probably the Bentley Roadster, and depending which model you get, they're like $500,000 to $1 million. In fact, I'm going to look it up how much they are now because they've probably gone up since I bring that up because I was walking with Mrs. Angry the other day, and there was a Bentley Roadster parked in a driveway we walked past. Bentley Roadster price $80. Okay. So they go to over $500,000. And it's like, I can't fucking do that in good conscience. Okay, car sales. Bentleys for sale in Australia. Yeah, so they're basically the really expensive Bentleys are 500,000 and up. They do sell some that cost you a mere 100,000. But the top of the line one is like 500,000 and up. And there was one parked in a driveway around here, and I was like, "Yep, no, I could." And that's not even that expensive for these stupid cars. So yeah, I think even even winning $150 million, I couldn't, in good conscience, blow that much on a car. Okay, one thing about the Queen Senator Jane Bikey, I don't fucking care. I just don't. It's ridiculous political game playing. The attacks on Lydia Thorpe. Um, it's I think she did do something technically wrong by not declaring it. But the Liberal Party are just a bunch of just straight up fucking criminals. So her dating an ex-bikie at some point is, I literally don't care. I don't give a shit. So yeah. So there's $150 million lotto that I'm not going to win. But I had to put some money in the syndicate just in case. Oh my God, because that just play on my head too much. Like, oh my God, just thinking about it does my head in. The idea of working with people who do a syndicate, you don't go in it and they win, literally just spending the rest of my life going, really? Fuck. So yes, even though I am quite convinced that not going to win anything. Like, yes, buying these syndicate tickets raise your odds from absolutely zero to just marginally, measurably above zero. In real terms, the odds are so remote. But yes, fear of missing out got me, I'm afraid. It's just a bit too much. So, yeah, it's just terrible. So, but yes, having said, yes, I'm not going to win $150 million. I am going to go to bed. So I'm going to see you find people another time. Probably not on Thursday because I got a thing on. But probably on Friday. But whatever. I will see. Yes, Dr. Abigail Discord. I will see you folks another time.